Okay, so today we are going to talk about compromise. Compromise. What is compromise? Well, compromise is a kind of give and take. A kind of give and take. That means, for example, if one person is here and wants this thing or thinks this thing, and another person is over here and thinks this thing, which is something that is very different, then this person gives something that they want up, and this person does the same. They keep some things they want, and they also give up some things they want, and they agree to something in the middle. I have some things I want, I have some things I want. We meet in the middle. Or we could say there is some middle ground. Middle ground. Oops, middle ground. Okay, and I'm going to be reading a dialogue between a husband and wife. And it's going to be something that might be common between a husband and wife, and they're going to try to compromise about their problem, okay? So all you need to do at first is listen. To try to improve your listening, I'm going to say the whole thing really quickly. All you need to do at first is listen, and then we're going to go through it very, very slowly. So if you can't understand at first, don't feel sad. You should feel happy, because we're going to go through it very slowly. Hey, that's a scary happy face. All right, so here we go. Alan, I need to talk to you for a second. Sure, what's up? Last night you were out with your friends again and didn't come back until 4 a.m. You're not a teenager anymore. You need to be more responsible. It was a special occasion. Besides, I don't go out late very often, do I? About 4 times a week, actually, each time very late. I think it's too much. I like to spend time with my friends. They all work late, so it's the only chance I have to hang out with them. Yes, I understand that, and I'm not asking you to stop seeing your friends. I'm just hoping we can find some middle ground so that you can share more of the responsibilities around the house. And it seems like we don't spend time together. So, you think I'm not balanced? I guess you could say it like that. How about instead of staying home until 4, you try to make it home by around 1? Yeah, but we meet at about midnight, so you're asking me to spend an hour with them and come home? I can see where you're coming from. Fair enough. I don't want to be a party pooper. How about you see more of your friends on the weekend when they don't have work? That way, you won't need to be out so late. Maybe you could do 1 late night out during the week. Oh, and you can invite them over to the house sometimes too. Well, I don't know about inviting them over, but hanging out more on the weekend could work, and I'd be willing to cut back during the week. Okay, I'm just asking for a little cooperation. Glad you can see things from my point of view. I still want you to spend time with your friends. Fair enough. Sorry about that. I didn't know it was an issue. Okay. So, let's talk about it. Oh, by the way, this has no meaning. I just wanted you to look at something when I was reading. No meaning. All right, here we go. Let's talk about it. Alan, I need to talk to you for a second. This is something that people say when they have something to talk about. We say a second to emphasize to emphasize that it won't be a very, very serious conversation. Now, this conversation is a little bit serious. It's a little bit serious, but not very serious. So we often say a second, sometimes we say a minute, sometimes we say a moment. It does not really mean a second, okay? So Alan is the husband and Coraline is the wife. Sure, what's up? What's up means, in this situation, what's up has many meanings. In this situation, what's up means, why do you want to talk to me? So it can mean, what are you doing? It can mean sort of like hello, a greeting, but it can also mean, why do you want to talk to me? Or why are you talking to me? Or what's the problem, right? Okay, what's up in this situation? Sure. Sure means yes. Sure can also mean you're welcome. So for example, if I give you some chocolate and you say thank you, I often say sure. It means you're welcome, but it is less formal. It is informal. It is informal. So I usually use this one to say you're welcome or yes. Very, very common. Last night you were out with your friends again and didn't come back until 4 a.m. You're not a teenager anymore. You need to be responsible. Okay, so they both know that he was out last night, right? So why is she saying this? She just wants to sort of preface her problem. She's not saying this to remind him that he was out last night. He knows, they both know. She's saying this so that they can both have an understanding of what the topic is. What is the basic point of the problem? Okay, so the problem is that last night, this guy was maybe drinking. Oops, D-R-I-N-K-I-N-G. Maybe drinking alcohol with his friends. If somebody goes out, I'm going out tonight, I'm going out tonight. That basically means to drink alcohol. That's what that means. It almost always means that. If somebody says, do you want to go out tonight? That means, do you want to go to a bar tonight or a club tonight? Something like that. So in Western culture, going out means drinking. Okay, you were out with your friends again and didn't come back until 4 a.m. Okay, pretty late. So that is her problem. He came back too late. That is one of the problems. You're not a teenager anymore. So maybe this means it's okay for a teenager to do things like this because teenagers are teenagers. You know, when you're young, you can do stupid things. When you're young, you can do things that are irresponsible, right? Not responsible. So she's sort of trying to hurt his feelings a little bit. Maybe that will make him feel a little stupid. She's saying he is acting like a teenager. She's comparing him to a teenager. Actually, he's a man. He's grown up. But he's doing things that maybe a teenager would do, she thinks. So that maybe makes him feel a little bit low, right? A little bit low. You're not a teenager anymore. You need to be responsible. So she's saying her requirement. She requires him to be responsible. Or she thinks he should be, right? Maybe he thinks he is. Maybe he, has a good job. Who knows? Maybe he supports his family with money, but she thinks he's doing things irresponsibly in another way. Spending too much time with friends. That's the problem. Spending too much time with friends. Okay, so now he says his excuse. An excuse is a reason you do something, right? Sometimes it's a good reason, sometimes it's a bad reason. And many people say, don't make excuses. That means if you're late for work and your boss says, why were you late? Don't say, oh, because blah, 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 because my car, blah, 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 because the bus, blah, blah, blah. Just say, I'm sorry. If you say all of those things, those are excuses. Okay, it was a special occasion. A special occasion is some special event. Maybe his friend had a birthday. Maybe his friend got a promotion. Maybe his friend got a promotion. That means got a better job. We don't know. But a special occasion, something interesting happened, he thinks, okay? Besides, I don't go out late very often, do I? Besides means if this was not a special occasion and I was just going out with my friends, it doesn't matter because I don't go out anyway. So if somebody says besides, that means don't think about this. Don't think about this. Anyway, or it doesn't matter because I don't go out late very often. Do I? Now when he says do I, that means maybe he knows he does, but he's just making an excuse. He's making it seem like he doesn't know how often he does. He probably does know, but he's maybe saying this to make himself seem more innocent. The opposite of innocent is guilty. Guilty means you did something bad. Innocent means you didn't do something bad. So maybe by saying, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know I did that. By saying that, he seems more innocent in the situation. It's possible he really doesn't know, but he probably knows. Okay. And by saying, do I? Do I? Make sure when you say this part goes up, the question. Do I? Do I? It's called a tag question. So he's asking her to make sure. Maybe by saying this, he's admitting. He admits he knows. Okay. About 4 times a week, actually. Actually means in fact. She's kind of reminding him. Maybe he hoped that she wasn't really paying attention to how often, right? By saying this, maybe he's saying, oh, maybe she doesn't really think about how many times I go out with my friends. But he or she is reminding him how many times. So she knows. She is keeping track of how many times. Keeping track means you follow it. You pay attention to it. Maybe she writes it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times. So maybe she records how many times he goes out with his friends. Actually means really, in fact. Each time very late. So this time 4 a.m., this time 3 a.m., this time 4 a.m. Every time very late, not only sometimes. I think it's too much. So she's just being very honest, very blunt. Very blunt. Blunt is an adjective which means very honest and direct. She's not trying to be gentle. She's not trying to be indirect. She's just saying what she thinks. I think it's too much. Right? Too much. He goes out too much. That's what her opinion. But now she said the real problem. This is the crux of the problem. That's the main point. A main point. That's the big issue. Okay. So now he's still going to say something about why. He says he's innocent. I like to spend time with my friends. They all work late, so it's the only chance I have to hang out with them. I like to spend time with my friends. Spend time with my friends. Do things with my friends. They all work late, so maybe they finish work usually at 9 or 10 p.m. That means they work late. They work late. They work until late night, right? Maybe 10 p.m., maybe 11 p.m. So this is the only chance to hang out with them. It's the only chance. Because they can't hang out at 8 p.m., they're working. They can't hang out at 7 p.m., his friends are working. It's the only time that it's possible to do things with them. Hang out in this situation means be with them. Be with his friends. Hang out in this situation means to be with his friends. Okay. I like to spend time with my friends. They all work late. So means the reason. So it's the only chance I have. It's the only chance I have. The only opportunity. Another meaning of chance is opportunity. To do things or to hang out with them. Okay. Now she's showing some sympathy. She's showing some sympathy. Sympathy means she understands his feeling. She knows his friends work late. She knows he wants to be with his friends. She's not a bad person, right? She's just trying to show that she understands the situation, which she does. Yes, I understand that. This is a common way to begin. When you're trying to say the opposite of someone or disagree with somebody, it's usually a good idea to say something that agrees with what they said first. Yes, that's true. Yes, I understand that. Yes, I know. To show that you are listening to them, to show that you're listening, that you listen to what they said. If you show that you listen to what they said, yes, I understand. That is respectful. She's showing some respect. She's showing some respect to him. And I'm not asking you to stop seeing your friends. So here he says, I like to spend time with my friends. But she didn't say, you can't spend time with your friends. She didn't say that. She said, you're spending too much time with your friends. So she's just reminding him, I'm not asking you to stop seeing your friends. That means it's okay for you to see your friends. I want you to see your friends, but maybe you can see your friends a little bit less. Okay. I'm just hoping, now she's going to say what she really wants. I'm just hoping. Just, in this case, means it's not big. I want a small thing. Right? I just want enough money to live. I'm just hoping. So this, when you use just in a sentence in this situation, you emphasize or stress that it is small or not much. She's only asking for a little bit. She doesn't want much. I'm just hoping we can find some middle ground. Now remember, I told you middle ground means compromise. So she's saying, I don't want you to just do what I say. I want you to listen to me and understand my feeling and try to compromise with me. I want to compromise with you. So we can find some middle ground, or let us compromise, or can we please compromise? Okay. I'm just hoping we can find some middle ground so that we can share more of the responsibilities around the house. Okay, responsibilities around the house. We say this, around the house. That's a very general thing. What does it mean? Just anything you would do in your home. Cleaning, maybe cooking, maybe mowing the lawn. You mow the grass, right? Some things maybe he can help her with. Lifting heavy things, right? So sharing responsibilities is important for her because they're married, right? They should do things together. So what she's suggesting is that because he spends too much time with his friends, he is not doing some of the responsibilities or things he should do around the house. He is maybe avoiding some of his responsibilities or some of the things that she thinks he should do. And it seems like we don't spend time together. So it seems like that's her feeling. They do spend time together probably. But because he is busy too often, it feels like this to her. It's just her feeling, just her feeling. Her feeling is maybe she's a little bit lonely. Right? It's her husband, but she feels maybe a little lonely because there's too much time where he's out with his friends, not with her. Feels like or seems like we don't spend time together. Spend time together means be together, right? Be with each other. So these are her two big problems, right? These are her two big problems. Feel like we don't spend time together. Responsibilities around the house are not done. Why? Too much time with friends. Okay. So he's still a little bit argumentative. He's still not really agreeing. So you think I'm not balanced. So you think I'm not balanced. Balanced means that you're doing things in the right way. If you have a positive but no negative, if you have a positive but no negative, that's not balanced. If you have a positive and a negative, that's balanced. So maybe he's doing too much of this thing and not enough of this thing. She wants him to maybe be like this. Some of this one and some of this one, right? So maybe he's doing way too much of this one. He's unbalanced. Balanced. Unbalanced. He's just making sure that she thinks that. I guess you could say it like that. That means those are not her words. He said this, right? And maybe if she said it, she would say it a little bit differently. Maybe she would say, you need to do more of this and less of this. Maybe that's what she would say, for example. But he said it like this. You think I'm not balanced? I guess you could say it like that. She is kind of agreeing with what he said. She's agreeing with what he said, okay? Actually, maybe she wanted to say this, and by saying the problems, she made him say it, and so now all she has to do is say, yes, you could say it like that. We often say that you could say it like that. That means those are your words, but that's right. Those are your words, but that's right. Okay, I guess you could say it like that. Okay, so that's a useful way to come to a compromise, because now she's sort of making him say something that she wants instead of her saying it, right? Okay, how about? Now, how about is when you are about to make a suggestion. You're going to suggest something. How about we go to McDonald's? No, I don't want to go there. Okay, how about we eat sushi? So how about is a way to suggest something. How about instead of staying out until 4, you try to make it home by around 1. Instead of means to replace. If you have this thing and then you take it away and put this thing here, this thing goes here, this thing is now put instead of this thing. I will have this thing instead of this thing. So you take something away and you put something in the same place. That's how we use instead. How about instead of staying out until 4? That's what he usually does. You try to make it home by. By means before or at. By means before or at. You try to make it home or come home. We could say come. Try to come. Make it come. Same thing. Come home by around 1. Okay, this is just a suggestion. Maybe he will agree, maybe not. Okay, just a suggestion. All right, so we are going to stop here for this video, and we are going to continue in the next video with this same dialogue about compromise. We're going to talk about how we can compromise, and we're going to work through this really, really slowly. All right, so if you have any questions until the next video, please just talk to me on WeChat. Okay, see you.